Hello, everybody, and welcome to Jordan United Church of Christ with me, your favorite pastor. When you think about the Bible, and I'm sure all of us have a Bible or Bibles in our possession, what's your first impression? I'll tell you what a lot of people have said to me over the years. It's a phrase that I know you have heard and maybe you have used. It's the good book. Indeed it is. It contains the gospel, which is, of course, good news, the good news of our salvation in Jesus Christ. And for Christians, maybe that's all we really need to know about the Bible. But obviously, we try to spend time studying the Bible and learning about its message. But for some people, especially when there are very difficult passages that don't sound to be in the nature and the character of God, doesn't sound to be the loving God that we have come to know through Jesus Christ, as was taught to me in a seminary course at Princeton a long time ago, a text of terror, something that seems to be totally out of place in Scripture. What are we to make of that? Should we say the Bible really isn't a good book, or should we just rip that page out and try to ignore it? I don't think we can do that, and that's why this coming Sunday I would encourage you to be present with us for the second in our series, Wrestling with Doubt, Finding Faith. And I'm going to be talking about that very issue, about our understanding of why we interpret these very difficult texts in Scripture. I hope that you'll be part of that or part of our live stream. Now, some people spend a lot more time learning about the Bible than actually its own message. Now, depending on which translation of Scripture you use, you'll know that there's different amounts of words and so on. The Bible is actually, no matter which translation you're using, going to be 39 books in the Old Testament in the Hebrew Scriptures, is where they're sometimes called, and 27 in the New Testament, making a collection, really. The Bible really is a collection of 66 books. But here's what one author, maybe with too much time on their hands, came up with. So the Old Testament contains 929 chapters, 23,214 verses, 592,439 words, and 2,738,100 letters. That's a lot of words and a lot of letters. The New Testament contains 260 chapters, 7,931 verses, 132,253 words, and 933,380 letters. The word "and" occurs in the Old Testament 35,543 times. Again, that's just one version of Scripture, and I got too many other things to do to count how many words are in my Bible, but I take them all very seriously, even though some of them I don't take literally. So that's, again, the message is coming Sunday, which is January the 14th at both 8 and 10:30. I pray that you'll be part of it as we learn about the importance of the good book. Then just to tell you about a very busy weekend here at Jordan, to remind you of some upcoming activities. Friday night, January 12th from 5 to 7, our very first spaghetti dinner of the new year. Now, some people, there's just someone that put on Facebook recently, it's the best spaghetti ever. Well, I'm not sure if we can live up to that claim, but it really is good spaghetti. It's $9 a person, all you care to eat, and less expensive, of course, for children. Tickets are available at the door. That's this Friday, January 12th, 5 to 7 in the social hall. Then on Saturday morning, which is January 13th, from 9 to 12 or so, I'm going to invite you to come and join with some consistory members, our vision team, with a vision gathering. We had a very successful, very wonderful year, 2023. And as we now pivot into 2024 and prepare for our annual meeting of our membership on February the 4th, Sunday, February the 4th, we want to have an opportunity just to kind of review what we accomplished and what God accomplished, I should say, really through our church. And then talk about the context that Jordan is in a declining membership of many churches, a closure of many churches, fewer and fewer pastors available to serve in the remaining churches, where we're at and how we compare to some other churches. And then using our core values as a church, talk about our goals for 2024. If you come just a little bit early, we'll have coffee and donuts available for you, and we'll try to end before noon. And then because of the weather and some other schedules, we rescheduled the Koinonia sponsored adult and youth competition from last Sunday, January 7th, and rescheduled it for this Sunday, January 14th, 6:30 sharp in the social hall. In conclusion, I'd just like you to continue to pray with me for peace in the Middle East. As you know now, the conflict between Israel and Palestine has gone on for 3 months, ever since Hamas attacked Israel and took hostages. And it looks like it may end up taking a larger scale conflict throughout the Middle East if something doesn't happen and happen very quickly. None of us want to see that. I pray every day, and maybe you will too, for an immediate ceasefire there, an immediate return of the remaining Israeli hostages, an end to the occupation of Gaza, and then a plan negotiated by the United Nations and also with the United States involved for Israel to rebuild. It's really important. Some 28,000 Palestinians have died in the last 3 months. Estimates say that 3/4 of them are women and children. That's awful. There's no way we can say this is a just conflict anymore. It needs to end before it grows even larger. So continue to pray with me for peace in our own hearts, in our lives, and in our world. I'll see you in church.